Hello and welcome to Eye on Africa, France 24's program focused on the continent. I'm Charlie James, filling in for Georgia Calvin-Smith today, and here's what's coming up. Somalia victorious in its fight over an Indian Ocean border with Kenya. Now the question is whether Kenya will respect the International Court of Justice's ruling. We introduce you to an emerging young star of the African tech world. Richard Odrado and his company AS World Tech are being primed as Benin's rise as an entrepreneurial hub. And adventure sports in South Africa just got more inclusive. The first paragliding wheelchair is now in use there, and France 24 takes you along for the ride. United Nations top court has sided largely with Somalia in its long-running dispute with Kenya over their maritime border. The two nations disagree over where the line should be drawn in a part of the Indian Ocean believed to be rich in oil and gas. The International Court of Justice is supposed to be the final arbiter in these types of disputes, but so far, Kenya has refused to recognize the court's jurisdiction. Our correspondent, Caroline Kimio in Nairobi, tells us how this case has impacted diplomatic relations.
The judgment is the result of a long-standing dispute between Kenya and Somalia over a 160,000 square kilometer area in the Indian Ocean that's thought to be rich in oil and gas and provides a source of livelihood for Kenyan fishermen. The ICJ ruled that there was no prior agreement between Kenya and Somalia on the precise maritime boundary. It delimited the area in a way that largely favors Somalia's interpretation of the maritime boundary, but adjusted that slightly upward in a way that benefits Kenya for equitable reasons. Now, the ICJ also found that fishermen's capacity to make a livelihood from the area would not be largely affected because only 17 out of 19 fishing sites would be affected. It ruled that Kenya had not violated its international obligations in the disputed area and declined to award Somalia reparations in that regard. Now, the ICJ urged Kenya and Somalia to move forward amicably on the issue. However, it's not clear how either country will react in the wake of the judgment. Just last week, we know that Kenya issued a statement through its Ministry of Foreign Affairs announcing that it had not only withdrawn its recognition of the court's judgment in this case, but had withdrawn from the court's compulsory jurisdiction generally.
That was Caroline Kimio in Nairobi. Nigeria has outlawed local banks from working with cryptocurrencies, but that isn't slowing down the craze. Instead, users are turning to peer-to-peer networks to trade and conduct business. And Nigerian artists have found crypto particularly appealing to sell works worldwide, as Nicholas Charmin reports.
Sly Magida is a 27-year-old Nigerian artist. COVID-19 lockdowns made traditional exhibitions difficult. So like many others, he is selling his artwork on cryptocurrency platforms. It's a way of protecting his savings as the national currency, the Naira, loses value.
Naira is digressing and we're trying to keep the value of the art. So cryptocurrency currently is going on the right direction and the world is jumping on it because we're in a digital world, like I said.
According to some studies, Nigeria is the third biggest user of virtual money in the world, behind the US and Russia. There are now centres where Nigerians can learn how to trade in the different cryptocurrency coins.
I'm just beginning to realize how late I am joining the crypto market, because this is one thing that has already gone far, but I feel it's still not too late. Crypto is the future.
But the government is concerned by this phenomenon. In February, the central bank barred local banks from working with cryptocurrencies.
Some people have actually hacked these kinds of exchanges and really made away with investors' assets. So there is a huge risk in this particular market.
The Nigerian government says cryptocurrencies are sometimes used to launder money and to fund terrorism. So far, the ban on local banks has not stopped the virtual money boom because many Nigerians like Sly bypass the restriction by using peer-to-peer systems.
Vaccine producer Moderna stepping up its search for an African plant location. On Tuesday, the company's chairman singled out Rwanda, Senegal, and South Africa as potential sites. Each of these nations either have existing vaccine expertise or have expressed an interest in developing an industry. Moderna said last week its African plant will produce up to 500 million doses a year, including its COVID-19 shot. The pandemic has increased pressure on pharmaceutical companies to manufacture drugs in lower-income countries. The city of Cotonou is Benin's economic capital and is also becoming one of Africa's leading tech hubs. It's there that 32-year-old Richard Odrado is making a name for himself with a string of high-tech products and gadgets. France 24 went to find out more about him and his company, AS World Tech.
Richard Odrado dreams of becoming one of the young builders of Africa's future. He's determined to establish his African brand, Asuka's Spirit, among the top names in the tech industry. Their latest flagship product are these smart glasses.
I just pick up by doing this because I hear the phone ringing in my glasses. With this system, you protect your eyes, your ears, your life, and you protect the lives of others.
Odrado has been passionate about electronics since his teenage years. He is now experiencing rapid success. This high-tech gadget costs up to 4 times less than similar famous brands, from computers with replaceable parts, glasses, and smart anti-theft watches. All his creations embody the African cultural identity.
We decided to change things to create products that are like us and speak to us. Asuka means warrior spirit. We didn't know any computers with African names, so we made Shango computers. Shango is from African divinity and it means thunder, power.
After a journey full of hurdles, the young entrepreneur has now sold nearly 20,000 products. Their entire range is designed in Benin and only temporarily manufactured overseas. He believes promoting technological innovation is the best solution to tackle unemployment. Today, he advises young startup owners with innovative ideas but no financial backing.
If you need 500 million and you can't find them, bring the right people on board. Trade skills in exchange for shares or benefits.
He's a model of entrepreneurship. Currently, we are following it very closely. We hope that this method will also help us.
Richard has just obtained financial backing to develop his brand. By providing tailor-made solutions for the continent, he aims to outdo the high-tech giants present in Africa.
Wheelchair users can now enjoy one of South Africa's most popular adventure activities, paragliding. A new adaptive paragliding wheelchair imported from France went into use there for the first time this week. France 24 went along with one adventurer as she took to the sky.
South Africa is one of the best paragliding destinations in the world, and Cape Town attracts thousands of paragliders every year. Now this thrilling sport is accessible to more people. 38-year-old Taryn Tomlinson lost the use of her legs when she suffered from rheumatoid arthritis in her final year of school. But this didn't tie her down, it just propelled her to new heights.
Ultimately, it's your attitude that determines your altitude in life. And that, we can, even persons with disabilities can get to the top of the mountain if we have help. If we have people around us that are willing to go with us, then we can open up the world to so many more people to experience.
Tomlinson assesses hotels and tourism facilities' accessibility for disabled people. Paragliding is extremely challenging without being able to jump or land on your feet. Matthew Van Sale imported this adaptable paragliding wheelchair from France.
Nice rugged wheel, so it allows for us to tackle any kind of terrain. So this acts as a roll cage so that your head and your shoulders are completely safe. I can now manipulate the chair with my feet to keep you in the right position, or it could be used as a solo pilot. For instance, if you want to go flying by yourself, we'll strap you in and you get your own safety harness.
This week, Tomlinson tried out the new kit.
I cannot wait to get out there and just experience what it's like to see Cape Town from above. Bye! Oh my god, this is amazing! Oh my god. Wow.
it was absolutely nothing as scary as what I anticipated it to be. So I'm super thrilled.
I can just see it.
Now that international tourism is picking up, Cape Town is ready to welcome international visitors of all abilities this summer.
Finally, we take you to Tanzania for a music festival that aims to unite people and cultures. Held this past weekend, the Marafiki Festival brought bands and artists together from across Africa, Kenya, Comoros, Morocco, Zimbabwe, and more. Our reporter gives you a look inside the event.
Marafiki Music Festival is a festival that aims to invite different artists, emerging artists or experienced artists from the national to the international level, to bring them together to share experience and then also to exchange, like cultural exchanging between different artists themselves and different culture. But it's go beyond that because as the word Marafiki is a Swahili word which just means friends. So the idea is to come, friends together to come to celebrate Tanzanian culture, to celebrate our culture, to celebrate other culture, more of our cultural diversity celebration.
I'm excited to meet other artists, share knowledge, share music, share skills, and interact with other musicians and creators from everywhere.
That's all for this edition of Eye on Africa, but do stay with us here on France 24 because there's more news coming up next.
France 24, a different point of view.
Liberté, égalité, actualité.